Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. And welcome to tea. I know I haven't done one of these in a bit. It's been, I do a lot of teaching these days in these classes, and some of them do go on. I do one on Saturday, and sometimes it can go on for 4 hours or so. And between all the prep work and editing and all the other stuff I do, sometimes Sunday morning I just, oh God, please, please, give me a day off. But nonetheless, here I am. I do love to do it. So do let me know if the sound is okay. All the different systems I have to use for live streams and classes and all that, they handle the sound differently, and I'm trying to get it all stabilized so it's okay, so it's consistently good and loud enough and the like, but doesn't distort. So yeah, there's my rant for the morning, as ranty as I can get. So. Hello, Ava. Good to see you, too. I am very well, thank you. Yeah, I actually canceled class yesterday because I was kind of under the weather, as they say. Rosario says the sound is perfect. Excellent. Great. I have, after long last, finally, since last August, actually, finally settled in here to my own little space. Really nice part of shoreline. We're just north of Seattle, a little place called Richmond Beach. It's about maybe a 10-minute walk to the beach, to the ocean, and lots of lookout points and the like. And I am still only about 5 minutes from my granddaughter, so every morning I go over and I take both of them to school. So I have my daily dose of them, and they get their daily dose of me. I'm their only grandparent. My son does not want them having anything to do with his mother. And their other grandparents live in Hong Kong because they're half Asian, so they see them twice a year. And I never had any grandparents around. They all died early in my life, or before I was born. My son didn't either, because my family was so batshit crazy. I moved us to California and didn't want them to have any contact with that. So it's really nice being able to have a close relationship with somebody like that. It's a sense of continuity there in a world that's very splintered and polarized. So, anybody has any questions right off the bat, I'd be delighted to take them up immediately. I put a title on this just because I felt like putting a title on it. I did not plan actually on thinking about speaking about that. It's up there. Truth is too close and too simple to grasp. It's a nice, in my spiritual growth along that way, which I can mark the day it started, and I was 19 and I was 74, so that's 55 years ago. I used to think that truth was like the perfect concept. You got everything right. Everything was understood. That means, that's it, and that's what it is, and that's what it is, and it was incontrovertible. And I found a lot of things that really were quite precise, quite impossible to logically decompose or deconstruct, but something was missing. It was a while before I ran into Advaita Vedanta, and then Zen, and then my own teacher, that kind of brought the whole thing into focus, that truth is not an idea. It's what is. It's life itself. It's that from which everything comes. It's your very being. It's you. It's you. Just to prove that out for you, everyone here knows that if I say, "Do you exist?" you're going, yeah, of course, right? Now, is that an idea? Is that a concept? Is it a belief, a religion, a theology, a philosophy? And do you need anyone to confirm that for you? Do you need the scriptures or gurus or holy people or priests or imams or rabbis or anybody to validate that for you? You are. That is the truth. Now, we don't pay much attention to that because it's just so self-evident. So we don't give it a lot of attention. But that word I is what your whole life revolves around. Everything in your life is in reference to that I. If you know the truth of that I, which doesn't need the word I, does it? You don't have to have any words. You don't have to have a name. You don't even have to be able to think. Sorry, Descartes, but you're wrong. I think is itself a thought, and the I that seems to be thinking is a thought. You don't need any of that to be. Being is simply here, and it's you. If you'll give enough time to that, you'll find it to liberate you from all sorts of ideas that we've burdened ourselves with. As to who and what we are, and what's possible, what's not possible, and what can I do, and how do I do this. And notice that all of your relationships, all of them, not just the very personal ones, family and lover and all of that, but business and groups you belong to, a church or temple or whatever, all are in relation to I. That's why it's called first person, because second and third, you and he, she, it, they, them, all of the pronouns are in relation to I. No I, no you. No I, no world. Everything revolves around I. This was recognized thousands of years ago by folks in very early in India, the early rishis of India, that recognized that the I was everything. And so, what was this I? In other words, who am I? Without the concept of I, even without the word I, what? And this is the focus of meditation. Should be. In the West, meditation has been reduced to just something else that's a return on investment, and less stress, better health, and manifestation, and all sorts of things which dilute it. All of those things result from meditation, but they're not the point of it. The point of it is to bring attention to that which is not that which is seen, but what is seeing, you that is seeing. As St. Francis said so beautifully, what you are looking for is where you are looking from. But we don't pay any attention to that. I didn't. Went right past that. I skirted around it, just hung out around it, just kind of dancing around. Very deep insights, but I could not get past the sense that this I that was having insights. I didn't get it. And I'm not sure anybody can get it until you run into a real teacher who can show you that. It just doesn't occur to us to question whether or not the I thought, the I experience, the I sense, the I self is in fact the truth. We just presume it. So if I say to somebody, okay, you're having an experience, you're suffering, right? Yeah, okay. Can you find the one who is suffering? Also, what the hell are you talking about? Of course, I'm suffering. And of course, you just can't say that without proper preparation because it doesn't make any sense. So try to break it down a little bit more. Okay, there's feelings here. Uncomfortable, horrible feelings sometimes. Intense feelings. Right? And you are definitely having those feelings. And then there's all sorts of thoughts about those feelings. I got to get rid of it. I don't like it. Please go. How do I? This is terrible. It's doing all these things to my life. All of those thoughts are there. Yeah? Those are all there. But notice there's this. I am suffering. Is that I anything other than a thought? In other words, can you actually find the I that is suffering? It seems a strange one, and I'm not sure why it came to me right now to talk about it, but here we are. Let's see what happens. All of the experience, the thoughts, the feelings, the intensity, all of it, they're clear, aren't they? You can point to it and say, yes, this feeling. Right? So then if I say then, you should be able to point to the I that's having those experiences, that's suffering it, with the same dead nuts accuracy. Everything else you can point to, there it is. Yeah, it feels horrible. There's this feeling. There's all these thoughts. Okay, show me the I. I'm not sure this is landing anywhere, but I'll just kind of take it to the end. It can be perplexing because the I that's suffering is assumed. It's just not questioned. Well, there's got to be an I suffering because there's all this suffering going on. Well, there are feelings going on for sure. It starts with the feelings, not with the thoughts. Okay? Because the feelings are there. And then there's thoughts about those feelings. Something arises in the environment, and then there's all sorts of thoughts and ideas about that. It's a suffering, and it's terrible, I don't want that. So putting just the attention just on the feelings, the actual experience itself, what if we don't pay any attention to the thoughts about it? Because they're shaped by conditioning and traumas and culture and all sorts of stuff. You shouldn't be feeling this, shouldn't thinking this. Those are thoughts. No feeling that arises says, this is terrible, I'm overwhelming, you can't handle it. They don't. They just are feelings that are there. And then later, very quickly, the mind jumps in and says, oh God, I can't deal with this. Which creates this sense of suffering. The sense of suffering is definitely there. So then ask, this I that can't deal with it? What is that? Let me see that. Or is there actually an I that can't deal with it? Or is there a thought that says, I can't deal with it, and it's a belief? Being seen and held by you. The feeling didn't announce it. The feeling didn't give itself a name, a diagnosis, or anything. It's just there. You're just there. Without the thoughts, without any of that, is there suffering? There can be pain, for sure, discomfort, for sure. But suffering? Do I have to suffer it? Or is the I am suffering just a thought that doesn't need to be believed? And the I that seems to believe that thought, isn't that just another thought? I'm just going to leave it there because I keep poking in and digging, and I'm hoping somebody out there is like gears are turning, because sometimes I can feel it's connecting somewhere. Sometimes I can't. So it might be. I don't dismiss it. Just that I'm not feeling it. You all have a beverage today, yes? Good. Let me go back and make sure I say hello after. Anne. Hello, Anne. Hanson. You're new. Good evening, G. Good to see you. Good to see you, too. Are you new? Or am I just not remembering? Victoria. My parents suffer a lot not having their grandchildren around. I hope you're feeling better, G. Thank you so much. The suffer, that's actually a choice. We all have expectations about life, what it's supposed to do, but life never signed any kind of deal that said it was going to show up the way we want it to. There have been times when I've been away and I've not seen my grandkids, and when I was living in New Mexico for a while, probably 3-4 nights a week, I'd get a call on FaceTime from my granddaughters before the younger one was born. Because we're very, very close, and I missed her. I missed her terribly, and I miss them when I don't see them. Right? But I don't suffer it. Life is the way life is. I mean, there's lots of times where other grandparents would expect, well, why wasn't I invited to that? And I go, let them have their family. Let them just do what they want to do. I don't want to put any shackles or demands on anybody. Good Lord. Good Lord. I had enough of that put on me, and I know it doesn't feel right. I come to trust life. It knows what it's doing. Yeah. Your parents can miss them. They can feel sad about it. They can all sorts of things, right? But they don't have to suffer. Suffering is voluntary. Suffering is the attitude we have towards it, and of course that is based on our central identity, which is just that I thought. Without the I thought, right? If it never occurred to you, you'd still be here, wouldn't you? You'd still be here. You wouldn't cease to exist. The dog exists just fine, doesn't have an I thought. Children don't have an I thought right away. It comes. Yeah. Suffering is completely our disagreement with life and what's happening, and the foiling of our expectations That's all it is. Otherwise, there is no suffering in life. I'm not saying there's not pain, loss. I miss my grandkids. I miss my own kids when they were little boys. I miss my 5-year-old kids. But they're not here anymore, right? So now it's just this sweetness that kind of permeates everything. I still refer to them as the best mistake I ever made. Let's see. Eva, yeah. I mean, being is always evident. It's so simple, yes. The truth is very simple, but the mind is highly complex. Because minds, the way they function, they need a reference point. You can't have mind without a reference. It has to have some way to organize all this stuff. Right? And at first, it makes something up. And the thing that it makes up is the sense of I am. I am this. I am the body. Then I am this. That's how it does it. Because it cannot see or know you, which is not an object that you can perceive. Consciousness, that which is hearing my words, is not a form. It's not a thing. It's everywhere, like space. But it's you. Victoria said, I'm not feeling physically good today. I finally forced myself to walk a little bit. Sometimes I find myself thinking that maybe there is really nothing and everything is just pure randomness. Thinking of that makes me sad. Well, let's look at that together then, right? Look around. Just look around everywhere. Do you see randomness? There is an order to things. There is a shape, a form. There's no formlessness, just big blobs of nothing in the sky, right? You go, well, clouds are formless. Well, no, they're clouds. There's definitely things here. And it's not random. We can see that everything is the way it is because of what came before it, this cause and effect, this constant transformation. That this moment right now is happening because of the confluence of just an unthinkable number of events. Right? We couldn't be doing this if without somebody inventing, the internet and computers and microphones and stands and lights and haircuts and clothes and everything. There is this kind of this rolling inevitability about things. Right? Now, because our minds are limited, and our primitive drive is we want to be safe, so we want some certainty about things, we think that we understand how things happened and why, and that's bad enough, but it's innocent. But it's when we get that idea, we start tinkering. So, if I do this, then I'll make it like this. And now we want to make it the way we want to make it. Genetic engineering, genetically modified organisms, artificial intelligence, all of these things for us to try to create what we think should be, trying to rid ourselves of the illusion of randomness, not actually seeing the incredible order, and always messing up because we can only see this thread. We only see like this linear little thread of causation. We don't see the infinite dimensions of causation in every single moment. As Nisargadatta put it, everything causes everything. So, drop the idea, just drop all your ideas of what it should be, and look. You won't see randomness. You'll see this wonder. It's so complex it's inconceivable, but yet it never messes up. It never repeats itself. And it's in constant transformation. It never sits still. The sadness comes because we think in our minds, unconsciously, we associate the notion that if I just kind of let go of everything the way I think it should, the way I want it to be, it will be horrible. That I've got to keep going. I've got to make something happen. And the fear is that if I stop doing that, it's just going to get worse, that I'm holding it together, by a thread. The fact is, anybody who's ever tried to, even a little bit, including you, and I've seen you do it, just a little bit, suddenly there's this sense of relief. Sometimes very small, sometimes bigger. But what I'm asking when I ask someone to simply let go of it for a moment, are you going to fall into nothingness, a void, catastrophe? What you find is you. That you're here. That you are a part of this, and you are in it, and it is in you. It's like a drop in the ocean, and the ocean in every drop. Every single drop, every single bit of water has the whole ocean in it. Like, it is the ocean, isn't it? Little piece there. We even carry it around in our bodies. 80% water. So sadness is the sense of loss. Is there really a loss of anything other than the suffering? It really is to be pondered deeply. And we see that we've just been conditioned and trained to believe that somehow I personally am supposed to make all this happen and make the perfect relationship and perfect health and perfect finances and perfect everything. And so we're trying to do with our minds what they can't do. They simply can't do it. And we get so afraid and so concerned that we can't do it. We end up trying to force it to happen and cause conflicts and wars and just unthinkable brutality and cruelty and pain inflicted on each other, trying to control what can't be controlled through an instrument completely incapable of even fathoming it, let alone changing its course and making it something better. I didn't feel good yesterday. That's why I canceled the class. As those of you who are in the class know. So what do you do with that time? There's a part of me that's always been a real doer, get things done. One time in my life, for a long time, I only slept 4 hours a day. I just didn't need to sleep. I was just my kid said, I've never seen anybody with that much energy. You just never run out. So yesterday, I'm not feeling good. I can't do much of anything. What do I do? I decided to use it to watch the impulse to do and all of that, and to just settle into just being. Just being. It's marvelous. It's peaceful. It doesn't get in the way of things having to get done at all. It's just doing doesn't have to come from the sense that if I don't do it, something bad's going to happen. It can come from the place of calm confidence, peace, contentment. To be peaceful or contentment doesn't mean you're just going to sit on your ass all day. So nothing to. No, it's the center of being around which activity takes place. It is the unmoving center around which the universe flows. All of the events, the just unfathomably complex and interdependency of all of the events that make anything happen, all of those are resting on this unmoving ground of being. You can't have an infinite stream of cause and effect, because every cause becomes an effect, every effect becomes a cause. There's got to be something there uncaused. There's something there that is real, absolute, timeless. Has to be. Something, because everything has a cause. Well, where did it start? Recognizing this, people came up with all sorts of ideas about God and all of that. Mind's version of God, which is very personal, and that God seems to want everything the way I do. Isn't that interesting? He seems to think my way's the best way. So I should make you do it my way. Yeah. And do it my way. So is it still sad for you, Victoria? It wouldn't be sad if you realized what you were letting go of was going to be replaced by something inconceivably better. And that would make adjustments to the experience. So you simply wouldn't experience things the same way. When you're sad, what does the world look like? Everything's sad. When you fall in love, what does the world look like? Oh my God, everything is beautiful, wonderful, right? The world hasn't changed. It's only the way we see it. That's it. We don't change. We are that unchanging center. It's only the way we see ourselves. What you entertain in your mind as I. That forms the world you see. But the world you see is not the world that is. Yeah. Yeah, let me know. Yeah. And I get to see you again soon anyway. You're not going to get out of my sights. Ava asks, who said that I am suffering while I can't see I? Yeah. Isn't it possible that it's just a thought, I, and not actually you? Isn't it possible? Right? Salva said, so we can see the thought, I am in pain, clearly, or I'm finding this overwhelming. Can we see the I thought on its own in the same way? Can you? Everyone, can you? Look. Yeah, look. Can I see the I thought? The word I, yes. I can see the word I. And all words point to something that word is based on, right? So the word pain, overwhelm, those are actual feelings I can point to. Yeah, they're subtle. It's not like, the microphone, right? I can point at microphone. I can point at this microphone. It's more subtle. It's more internal. But it does have a definite shape. Sadness feels different than happiness, right? Love feels different than anger. They're not the same as an object out here in the external world. but they're quite identifiable, aren't they? Now, what is the I thought pointing at? For most, the I thought is, well, I'm me, I'm Greg, I'm 74, I live in Shoreline in Washington in the U.S., and I'm online and I do these things and I have these gadgets and etc. And I was born in Illinois. This whole story. I was this, I was that, I was this, I was that. All of which are experiences being had, yeah? And we say, I am. Oh. So, what is the I pointing at? If you look, you find that the I that it's pointing at, it's not like I say my car and I can point to my car. You find that I say my car, and that thought is only pointing to another thought of car. It's not actually the car. The I thought, its reference point, is actually just another thought, more subtle, even invisible, more of an influence than an actual thought, but it is a movement. And you find that, wait a minute, if this thought is only referring to another thought, what's real? And if my whole I has been based on the existence of what in fact is just a thought, not pointing to anything, maybe even made up, totally imaginary, no wonder I feel so unstable. There's nothing solid there. Yet, I do exist. I'm not a thought. I'm not an illusion. The I thought, in and of itself, is nothing. It's just a thought. It's an index. It's a pointer to something. And for the most part, that index has been pointing to the wrong place, to what in fact is just another thought. So, where is the actual I? And is that suffering? Well, when the teacher says, look to that which you know for a fact is, and it's not a thought. And what's that? I am. Even those words, I am, are a pointer, right? But they're pointing at a fact, not another thought, not a belief. I am. It's a fact. Right? But what's there? This I. I mean, if it's pointing, the I is pointing to another thought of I. Oh, I could see it. Oh, there it is. This is more troublesome because the actual I, the one that's here, the one that isn't a thought, I can't see it. It doesn't look like there's anything here, but there is. I'm here. And this is the realm of non-dual self-inquiry. The mind and our training says the I must be some kind of concrete, palpable, perceivable shape for it to be real. But every shape, everything perceived, is only a perception. And it's not actually me. Can't be. I'm looking at it. And you run into the thing that the mind does not want to accept, and that is, I cannot perceive myself. I can't. So no image I have of myself, of any shape or form or content or history or memory, is not what I am, only thoughts. So, the only place I can go to find what I actually am is by putting my attention on what's seeing, the fact that I exist, and simply pushing aside, refusing to acknowledge every object, thought, experience that presents itself as me. And sometimes just this painful thought comes up, right? The painful experience, and the thought comes up, oh, I don't like that, right? I don't like, show me this I that doesn't like that. Well, there's a feeling of not liking it, but I'm here looking at it. And what if that thought, I don't like it, never occurred to me? What if it never occurred, just never popped into my head? I'm just here. Pain is here, or some kind of experience. Be like a dog, right? It's there, it hurts, but it's not going, man, I don't like this. Oh, it's slow. There's no I there to take ownership of it. It just becomes experience. To who? Take that thought away, you're still here. Everything, the experience is still here. But what's missing is the sense of this I that is suffering. Are you guys following this? It's a subtle one. This isn't knowledge. This isn't, like I said, truth is too close and too simple for us to grasp it as knowledge. It's not knowledge. Knowledge is secondary. I have knowledge of stuff that I can use to speak about it, but that knowledge is not it. You're it. So it's not knowledge that can be gained, because that too is relative to it has a cause, it has a beginning, it has an end, it has all of these characteristics that make it perceivable. Right? How do I know me? Well, you know that you are, right? But and doesn't need confirmation. That's not knowledge it's not knowledge that's derived. I can say, I know that I am, but even those words that convey information, right, are only a representative of the fact which cannot really be articulated. And I don't have to articulate it to be it. In fact, if I couldn't speak or couldn't hear, I would still be it. All right, boy, I really went off on a tangent there. I hope that was useful. So the I thought, right, is really. I had to go back. Where did this go? Oh, right. The I thought. Ramana referred to it. He said, like a spirit, impalpable, the I thought arises. The I thought arises in us when we are very young, but it is not the words I yet. It is the sense I am, right? A concrete sense of I am, prior to which you just are. Ramana referred to that as the I thought, because out of that comes the words I am, when we have words to say it. We can articulate I am this or that, but we're already feeling I am, pulling towards identifying with something before the words are there. In other words, the I am the body thought feeling is there before we have any idea of the words to articulate it. In fact, for most, the words I am the body never really come out of their mouth, and it's believed before any of the words have formed. I am the body. The moment that happens, right, not only do we get compressed within a form, but the body, which in fact did not exist before, comes into being as the perception of experience, the focal point of experience. The body does not exist separate from the mind, from the I thought. Take away the I thought, and what do you have? Infinite, undifferentiated, illimitable experience. Not confined to an I. With the I thought, I am the body, I create a form bounded, and then all experience becomes other. I'm not that. And this is the separation that we feel. And with it comes fear, shame, the fear of loss, fear of death, fear of inadequacy. All of it comes from there. It is really the essential, the existential trauma. The experiences of trauma in childhood come after that. Am I going too far with this in any direction? Marty, hi Marty, definitely connecting. Oh, good. I'm going to keep going here for a bit because take a sip of this first. Ava says, I see suffering, however, I don't see this. I can't see I because I am I, so suffering does not belong to I, who is just seeing it. Yes. Because I am I, yes. So, the I cannot see itself, can it? When we really think in just the most practical ways and really look at it, we go, I have images of what I look like, but I've never actually seen my own face. Right? I mean, it's funny. I even mentioned that to my granddaughter once a few years ago. Every now and then I throw these little things out there, and she goes, well, yeah, it's true. And then probably about a year later, I was just sitting in the room where she was looking in the mirror. She goes, Papa, you can't see your own face. That's my granddaughter. Yeah. Yes, a little familial pride. Yeah. Just happy to see that these seeds were being planted. Yeah. Anyway, got off on that. But it's a fact, isn't it? So all of the ideas, all of the pictures in our minds that we have of ourselves, we've not actually seen. It's always us as seen from somewhere outside the body, isn't it? Okay, so then it's basically second-hand knowledge. How do I get first-hand knowledge of me? I can't see me. Right? I can't see myself directly. So none of the information I've got is direct. It's all indirect. It's all hearsay. Okay. So what do I know then about me directly? Well, I keep bringing you back to that same place. I know I am. What do I look like from here? So that means any image you hold of yourself, any image whatsoever, is not actually you. It's not your experience of you. You don't experience yourself as you look in the mirror. You experience yourself here, looking from here at a mirror and seeing a face that is changing, right? It doesn't look the same way as it did not that long ago, and won't look the same sometime from now, and at some point way in the future it won't be a face at all. It'll just be a bunch of fundamental material being recycled. Now this can be uncomfortable because we have all been taught and our minds have been trained, when we know something, it's very concrete. This is what it is. But this is not so concrete. And our concreteness limits the picture. Yeah. So, and I have changed from the name Anne's blog. Too long. It made no sense. So yes, we have to. Right. Okay. Good. Yeah. I didn't think there was a picture there before either. When it was Anne's blog, I remember that. Yeah. I don't remember the picture there though. So anyway, welcome again. Welcome to the real you. Now that we have thrown off the pseudonym. Rasha. Hello, Rasha. I need to know how I can feel the truth from my body. Could you... I'll make my best guess here, but could you clarify that? Feel the truth from the body. Right. Now, the body isn't really the one that feels. You, the consciousness in it, is what is cognizing everything. And so the truth, speaking of the truth of the body, or the experience, and the experience of a living body, right? Or the truth is you're not the body. You're the consciousness that animates the body. Right? And so the body, the consciousness, experiences a body. And the experience is true. We do have these experiences. And the question here is, what is it that's having that experience? The truth isn't in the actual content of the experience, nor is it in the experiencing of the experience. It is in that which is seeing, that which is experiencing, right? And it's very subtle, because everything that is experienced reports to here, the consciousness that's aware of it. Everything does. Right? The eye isn't actually seeing, right? We say the eye sees. Looking at it, I mean, even physically, physiologically, the eye does not cognize what it's seeing. It's not placing any judgment or any value. It's simply like a camera collecting light. That's all it does. The camera that is, watching me right now is not seeing me, right? And this is subtle, right? Oh, what the camera sees. It's good. It's okay. It's a convention. It's harmless. But we reckon it as that which cognizes is not seeing anything. It's just a vehicle. It's just an instrument, a function. And so the eye is merely collecting light. And it's going through all sorts of different little phases and stuff, none of which is actually cognizing anything. It's just stuff that's being manipulated and moved around and shoved together and had things associated with it, and finally it gets to some place where there's cognizance. Well, that's you, right? So you say, I see it. Right? Nothing else in that whole chain can say, I see it, because there's nothing else sentient there. There's no cognition there. So the truth is the actual, the fact, the reality is only that which is cognizing. Everything else is being cognized. What is the actual nature of that which is cognizing? Because clearly that is real. The idea that the camera sees isn't real. It's an experience, and we can use the word for its capacity for collecting light. The same with the eye. But only that which is cognizes it. I hope I got near that for you, Rasha. Elaine and David, very few questions capable of being expressed arise these days. Wonderful. Which isn't great for live Q&A. Well, we can be like Ramana and just sit together in silence. That works too. Yeah, it's weird. In media, the worst thing that can happen is silence, dead airspace. People just sitting around, meditating. It isn't great for media. It's kind of like having the wallpaper channel or something. It just. But the process certainly continues with deep reflection on the thoughts, feelings, and sensations which arise. Sitting and listening also helps deepen any understanding here. Many thanks. Yeah, it does. Even when you're like you are, beyond where you need to know something. But it does help in this environment with the teaching to, that's right, just pull our attention back. Sometimes I will put on a satsang from my own teacher, and he always opens his satsangs with, he says, welcome, namaste, welcome to satsang. And sometimes that's all I have to hear, his voice going, namaste, welcome to... I turn it off, I'm good. Because it isn't even the words per se, right? Just something to pull our attention back, because it can seem so powerful, so alluring, right? When we can wake up in the morning and feel totally unclear, no clarity whatsoever. And you remember, right, I'm beholding the absence of clarity. I see the clarity and the confusion. I see them both clearly. I am beyond that. And the attention goes to there. Right? It's a good one for you. Something that Ramana said to, it was actually, he said it to the first European who made his way to the ashram to speak to him, 1930 something. And he said, I used the words that the teacher gives to his closest students. From now onwards, in meditation, focus the thought of meditation not on the seeing or on that which is seen, but only on that which sees, unmovingly on that which sees. Even the thought I am, all of it, whatever is seen. If this resonates with anyone, take it up. Right? And you'll notice that our attention is always being pulled back into the content, into what is being seen. And then the seeing, right? Come back to this place where, well, yeah, it's all being seen. There's seeing happening, and the seeing is the same no matter what is being seen. Right? And then you notice your attention is brought to the place where, well, even the seeing is being seen. The seeing is a function. Right? It's kind of, then you look for that which is seeing. The seeing is reporting that somewhere. What? See, I don't even like the word "what" anymore. Right? With that, it works for somebody, but this is resonating, which I think it will with you too. That which sees. Now that you don't wrap a who, you don't wrap a what, anything around. It's just whatever that is, it's seeing. And you can't help but notice, but that I'm seeing. So just set aside the words I, that which sees. Very potent. Yeah. I think might be a good thing for you. Yeah. You guys, yeah. Because you don't have any questions anymore. You don't need any more knowledge, and you know it. And just keep knocking on Nirvana's door. As little by little, grace peels away all the remnants of the personal I. Right up to the point where, because you know there's a point at which you can surrender everything, but how do you surrender yourself? How do you let go of I? How does the I vanish? This is kind of the paradox of the crucifixion. Christ lent himself to be completely vanish, let go of everything, including him. Into thy hands I commit my spirit. Just to oneness with God, oneness with the Absolute, means just one. If there's me and God, one of us has got to disappear. That sense of I that appeared became I am the body in a world all the way the return trip, so that the sense I that arose at last subsides, and all that's left is the infinite one, where the I, you, those are all irrelevant now. Eva, I could just see you, Eva. Gee, it seems I saw this so clearly first time, that I has nothing in common with suffering. No. It is simply the cognition of experience. And the suffering of experience is actually part of the experience. Because everything we call suffering is just more movements of thought, right? The ultimate experiencer that is witnessing the whole thing on this screen which is you, are you suffering. You will suffer as long as that I remains identified with form. I am seeing it. Well, then who is that I that sees it? And is the seeing of something, that is the perceiving in any shape, is it affected by what it sees? Or is that which is affected and upset, suffering, anxious, pissed off, whatever, isn't that also just being seen by that same seeing? Is the seeing itself affected? Does it become less than seeing? These are, this kind of inquiry is not something you're going to run into at school. Most people, you talk about this, whatever. There's no interest in it. If you're drawn to this, there's a reason. And I don't want it to seem like it's totally intellectual. In fact, it's not intellectual at all. Intellect is valuable because it can help us it can help us recognize that we live with assumptions and beliefs. and can really be a tool in the search for that which is not a belief. But the discovery is not intellectual. And when that happens, or as that happens, the intellect becomes more refined. It becomes a really great tool for giving expression to it. But you are not a thought. You're not a concept. You're not an idea. And no idea could possibly capture the reality of you, just like the idea of, anything. A tree doesn't capture the tree. Not even close. It's a representation, an index, a pointer, nothing more. The tree itself stands on its own, and the experience of that is quite different. It's real. Ben J. I get upset that I'm not meditating, not journaling, not doing inner work, not doing enough. Even when I do something, the same voice says I'm not doing it. It's the wrong thing. I can't be pleased. Yeah. Okay. So here's the deal. Who told you you're supposed to meditate or journal? Who told you have to do this inner work? Anything that comes with a demand, coercion, or some kind of threat, or you're going to lose out, right? It's kind of like the things, get it while supplies last, right? That kind of nonsense. Right? It's going to create artificial scarcity. That's not truth, because it's not loving. If I have to be forced to meditate, it means I don't want to. I can't go away. I don't want to do it. And if you've never had the experience of meditation as it's really supposed to be, you won't want to do it. Hours and hours in funny clothes and weird positions, and no thank you. Right? So notice there's just kind of this sense that you have to do something, that this is what it is, or you're going to be a mess and left out, and just for one moment, my friend, just set that all to the side. Right? Just set it all to the side. It's like not being intimidated or pressured or threatened to do something. Right? You just want to find yourself, right? There's a feeling that something's missing, right? And I want to find it, right? It's really that simple. Right? And so there's all sorts of people out there. Oh, you got to meditate, and you got to do this kind of work, and do this kind of work, and blah 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 blah. And I say, no, you don't. Just stay with your actual desire. Right? Your heart is reaching for something, right? And you don't know what it is. So put aside everything anybody has ever told you you're supposed to do in order to find that. And instead, let's just sit together with this desire, right? The real teacher never tells you what to do. Always just keeps pointing you back to yourself. What do you want? What's here? What are you actually feeling? What are you reaching for? That somehow you feel, I'm failing because I didn't do this, and I'm feeling this because of this. Just It's bullshit, okay? It is so simple. I yearn for something. And nothing I've ever tried or done has quenched it. I do the meditation. It's just like, it makes no sense to you. So don't. I honor you that if I'm not doing it because I don't want to. Okay, fine, good, fine. I don't want to do anything that's stupid either. I don't want to do anything that doesn't work. Why? Because somebody said I'm supposed to? Yeah. How about this? What I teach is that I want you to just look at yourself. I want you to put everything else aside. Put you at the center and just look. No beliefs, no ideas, no concepts. Just look. And what do you find? No burdens, none of that. No rules, no conditions. Happiness is not a carrot being held in front of the donkey. Oh, do all of this and then you'll get this. Just instead, let's honor you. Something in you moved you towards this kind of thing. The inner work, meditating, whatever it is, something inside you moved you towards that, right? Well, let's pay attention to that, because that's real, that's you. We're not making it up, right? It's a real thing. It's really coming from you. Right? Now just be with that. Say, let yourself feel that. Not run off to some solution to it and the like, as if it was a problem. It's oftentimes that the call, the invitation to the truth of you appears as just a discomfort with what is. Not because there's anything wrong with you, but because my sense of myself is simply too small to contain this. It needs those boundaries expanded. I'm more than happy to talk to you about it in person. I offer free time to folks who are sincerely wanting to dig into this stuff. There are useful tools for inner work and the like, but they're only tools. And they're only as good as the person who uses them, quite frankly. Some great things like, this is such a great thing, it works so fine. Well, how come it didn't work for me? Because it's a bigger picture than that. Yeah. So, you're not doing... I'm not doing enough. That's all. That voice is... It doesn't matter how much you do. That voice is going to be there saying, because that voice has nothing to do with what you're doing. It's a deep program inside of you that's all it knows how to say. Period. And it's never satisfied. But it's not you. That's just the conditioning of the system, which you can come to see as simply not me. You're not broken. You're not. The sense of ourselves, we see ourselves as broken and therefore experience ourselves as if we are broken when you're not. And meditation? Simple. Just looking at myself. Looking to see what I can actually see. So I do a meditation. Let's do a quick one right now. Just, if you want to, close your eyes, take a couple breaths. Right? Let go of everything. Right? You know nothing. You're here not to make something happen or to fix something, but to actually see what's here. I want to just see what's here without interfere of, oh, gotta fix it. Oh, this is a problem. No thoughts about it whatsoever. Just feel. Just feel your own presence. Whatever's there. Maybe there's tension, anxiousness, whatever. Just for a moment. Just don't do anything with it. Do nothing with it. Just feel it. No attempt to even fix it. Oh God, poor body, poor heart, poor you. Just the pressure. Fix this, fix this, fix this. Oh, yeah. That's when I give my most beautiful mantra is, oh, fuck it. Go fix yourself. No pressure. No mission, no goal, no responsibility. Just look what's here. Yeah. And notice that you can. Notice that there's very much something here. It sees all the thoughts, it sees the feelings, it sees the sensations, it experiences all of that. And at the same time, it isn't that. Again, this isn't a belief. I'm not asking you to believe anything. Look for yourself. You see the thoughts. You feel those feelings. You feel those sensations of the body. All of it. Now, pay no attention to what they are, labeling them, or what's supposed to happen with them. And instead, just notice, yeah, I am seeing all of them. So whatever I am, it's something other than that. And this is just here. The seeing is just, I didn't start it. I didn't have to, turn the ignition and start it up. I'm just here. It's effortless. Again, it's not a thought, right? I'm not putting a belief in your head. I'm just inviting you to look, see for yourself. And notice that's seeing, that kind of presence, aware of all of it, not dismissing any of it, not saying bad illusion or anything like that. Right. But is there anything wrong with that? Is there anything there that needs to be changed or fixed? Right? Yeah, there's stuff happening that has to be dealt with. But you, I'm here seeing all of this. Without any reference to any of that. Is there anything wrong here? Is there anything wrong with you? Take a breath. You can open your eyes if you want. It's so simple. So simple. That's meditation. At least, I've not found any approach to meditation that is simpler or more direct. Only to see what is actually here, because what's really here must be the truth. And the whole point of the quest you found yourself on is to find the truth of you. Yeah? I hope that helps. Hello, Fatima. Great to see you again. No, there's no possible loss is an illusion, I think you meant. Yeah, it is. nothing can ever really be lost. Nothing ever had a beginning or an end. They are only the infinite outpouring of that which has no beginning and no end, which is the self, yourself. Papa Owl. Hari Om Ji and everyone. I probably don't notice it, Ji, but in an informal setting, like having a personal, deep conversation with someone, I don't notice it. How would you heal someone of the troubles they're dealing with without going into any specific technique, like showing their nervous system that they're not at fault any longer by just having a normal conversation? I'm dealing with without going into a specific technique. Well, when you're in a position and you're having a conversation with somebody, maybe a deep conversation with somebody, right? The first thing to notice is that just because of the work you've done on yourself, the place you've gotten to in your spiritual development, there's a deep desire to alleviate suffering, especially when you've come to see how it happens, and what the cause of suffering is, and the way out of suffering. Once you've seen it and experienced, tasted it for yourself, knowing that it's real, you can't help but want to share it, and you can't help but notice how those you care about, those that are suffering, and don't know the way out of it. You see it. It's right there. And you just do this and this. I found, personal experience, that doesn't work. To try to lead them somewhere like that. Because you might, in some circumstance, offer it in the form of technique. You may find somebody who's already spiritually mature enough that you can do it together. Let's look together at this. Let's see where its origin. Where did it come from? Others not so much. So you can use a technique because that's familiar to them, right? They can grasp a technique as a healing modality, right? Whereas they can't grasp self-inquiry at all, let alone as a healing modality. And sometimes you can't do any of it. But whether you use a modality or even self-inquiry, the only real healing agent is you. Your level, the point at which you have grown to, the things that you have seen, the parts of you of the false you that have dissolved and been replaced with the reality of you. Make your presence. Your presence is the healer. And the more you're present, and the more powerful that energy is, the more those are drawn to it. And you have to do anything because the energy of somebody who is suffering is simply looking for a place where it's safe. And if you are that place, the energy will find it. Even if the person thinks it's got to be an external environment, it's got to be some place where I can sit and hang out, it's a physical place of safety I'm going to get to, it's actually an inner state that is discovered and then abided in and then become. And the more you are that, the more at the energetic level, it's going to gravitate towards you and feel the safety. And they will feel the safety. Maybe not consciously, but enough They probably can't even articulate it, but without that feeling, that safety, no deep conversation could possibly happen, could it? Because it can't get deep, can't get intimate, because it's not safe enough. I can't reveal myself. The very fact that that it can happen is an indication that there's already a space of safety. So that's really what heals. Remember, Ramana, for the most part, didn't talk. In fact, he only talked 10 or 20% of the time. Most of the time, he just sat there, completely aware. And he would say that the state he would be inviting us to was one in which you're aware of all of it. You see it, the action, the people, and everything, right? And you see it from here. So, nothing to comment about, nothing to intervene. Every now and then he'd say something. Every now and then he'd open it up and people could ask him a question. Excuse me. The technique that someone uses is not the healer. People say, oh, it's EFT. Oh, it really works. And depending on who I'm talking to, I'll talk about how it works, but I'll talk about why it works and the like. But it isn't the technique that works. It is the quality of the presence. And by presence, I mean you're aware of what's going on, you're aware of yourself, and you're not rejecting anything. You're not pushing anything away. Practicing the being able to allow your own feelings. Allow them to be there without immediately getting into some kind of a thing with them where you got to do something or other. To just allow them, right, opens up this presence. You know that, the feelings themselves aren't the problem. It's all the ideas and thoughts we have about them that are the problem. As you get that, you're more and more allowing of your own feelings, which means you're allowing of others. That's what happens. And being sensitive, you probably notice at some point feelings you're having, you go, oh, that's not me, it's him. You'll feel what others are feeling, and you'll do with it exactly what you've learned to do with your own, and that's just let them be there. Yeah. And that space of safety, that space of presence is just love, which is felt. And in the space of love, nothing unlike love can stand. It just has to dissolve. Sometimes immediately in miraculous ways, sometimes just gradually, gently, not even noticeably. You yourself have had experiences of things kind of dissolving, and you noticed it after the fact, right? You don't need to jump right in and explain all these things to them. I know you want to. We're burning up to help others, right? But let it take root. Let it take such deep roots in you that you don't even feel that need to help others. It just happens because it's you. You have become it. Not even becoming. Just, I am that. I am that very love. I am that space. And everybody's welcome here. You're also welcome to not come here. Totally open. Oh boy, how many have we got here? Oh geez. folks having to go. I'm just kind of, oh, nay, lovely, lovely, lovely. Good to see you. Just want to say hello to everyone. Wow, just silence. Yeah, Mr. Satsang, it's great to see you again. Yes. Well, I keep inviting everybody to the weekly satsangs, I have to give the bulk of my attention to the students, those who are relying on me to take them there. Yeah. So, I should say, I'm actually doing a live event next week. I won't be doing satsang because I'm going to be teaching a class just for women, and been asked to do that numerous times, and so I'm doing it next Sunday. Unfortunately, I don't have the brilliant marketer that I am. I don't have a place where you can sign up yet. So tell you what, I'm going to put this, Christina, if you don't mind. Christina at gpwalsh.com. I think I spelled it right. Yeah, Christina, yes. Send an email to Christina, who is keeping me from falling apart at the seams, and we'll get you the info about being part of it. The sliding scale. Anybody can come. I'm asking for a certain amount of money, right? But you don't have to pay that. In fact, if you don't have anything, you can come anyway. This will be completely a donation based with some suggestions of stuff that would really help me if I could get that. And it's just it's both emotional healing and inquiry, and will be just the unique challenges that women face, and the unique sense of finding oneself, both the reality of you and the functional you in the world as a woman. I've done them for men as well, and I do find that it's very useful to have a setting in which it can be looked at just from that perspective. Even though the soul has no gender, the reality is beyond that, but yet our experience brings out certain qualities and certain relationships with the culture and certain ways of self-identification that are very limiting and harmful. It's useful to look at them through the lens of gender. So that's what I'm going to do. And Christina there will receive. She's here. There she is. So there it is. There it is. That's my form of being the great marketer and getting the word out. Oh, jeez. You notice I don't even post as many videos on YouTube anymore. It's so much effort and with not a whole lot of payback, and you're completely at the mercy of YouTube, right? Completely. I went to having around 100 people at my satsangs regularly, and then one day it dropped down to 40, and then one day it dropped down to about 20, which is where we are now. What changed? Nothing. The algorithm changed for YouTube, in which how they decide what they should suggest to people. And the algorithm just kind of, we're not going to suggest them that much. So I just rely on word of mouth. If you like this, tell a friend. So in the meantime, if you want to, if you are a lady and would like to explore some of this with some other very wonderful and sincere and supportive ladies, join us. Victoria, not sure if it was sadness. Oh, good. is this feeling of me being here and my circumstances being totally random, and not as a result of some divine wisdom. I came from nothing and going to nothing. Well, yeah, it's not. Feel more into it without any thoughts whatsoever. This feeling, I'm here. Yeah. Circumstances, I don't see any order in them, although I can see order in them. I mean, it's not totally chaotic. It's not, suddenly my head becomes a pumpkin. Right? I mean, it's like there is some continuity to it all. Random, seeming as if... Look more closely at the feeling. All right? Let's say, okay, it's random. Is that really accurate? I'm not seeing divine wisdom in them. Okay. And now, is that because it isn't there? Is because I have an idea of what that divine wisdom should be? Shouldn't the divine wisdom look a whole lot more like what I want? No, really, this isn't a criticism. It's just to really look through eyes that are clean. Right? I'm not trying to read anything into it. Right? I don't see the order in it. I don't see the wisdom. And it's not making any sense to me. Right? Okay, so maybe, though, it does make sense, but I'm not looking at it from that perspective. So it's possible, right? I'm not saying it's absolutely true. I'm just saying it's possible. Right? Now, I came from nothing and going to nothing. It's more like emptiness and what's the point? Like an atheist point of view, which is normally not natural to me. There's no specialness or destiny to accomplish, just nature doing its job and our little minds trying to grasp any sense of meaning. Good. And I say good because I really want you to look at this this is really deep and really fundamental and existential. Yes, the materialistic view is nothing, consciousness, nothing, oblivion, total non-existence. And for most, that's terrifying, right? And it's nihilistic. The consequence of that view of things is nothing has any meaning. Nothing matters. Everything's going to dust. It's true. From that perspective, it's true. How long? 5 more billion years this our sun has, in which case the Earth gone. Everything gone. My kids will remember me when I'm gone. My grandkids will. After that, there'll be no memory of me except what's passed on. Oh yeah, they were like this, and generation or two later, I don't exist anymore. Nothing. Total oblivion. Now we can look at that and go, and in a sense, it's true. This, even if you buy the idea of multiple lives, reincarnation, and the like, your past life and everyone prior to that, gone, poof, like a dream, gone. So, if there is meaning to be found, it's not there. And it's significant to ask, really, is that all there is? Then, where did this desire to find meaning even come from? It's weird, because if that's the case, why would there be within us this urge towards meaning, significance, value. There's plenty of ways to explain it away. But it does seem kind of strange that in a universe, a whole function that is, from that perspective, completely void of any of that, that this urge towards it would emerge. It makes no sense. It's like a frog giving birth to a cat. It doesn't make any sense. It's like, how does it come out of that? Unless there's some seed in there. So meaning, value, significance. If we look at it from that perspective, which is the perspective the world operates under, what's your value? It's your market value. You inherently have no value. It's only what the skills you've learned, or the connections you got, or everything is looked at transactionally, right? Nobody asks you, well, yeah, that's great, you can do that, but who are you? Nobody asks that. Who are you? Where do I find inherent value? The culture or economics? You don't have any. You don't have inherent value. You have whatever value, which are skills and abilities and stuff you can do that you can offer in the marketplace. So your value is totally relative. At one point, all the guidance counselors in high school are trying to take the kids and say, oh, you should go be a lawyer, right? And now there's such a glut of lawyers that they're not making the great bucks anymore. And it used to be a kid graduating with his, and that was computer science, right? Get computer science degree, and all the kids in computer science, and just graduate from computer science with decent grades, and you got $100,000 a year job, right? And then the .bomb happens. Everything the whole industry collapses, and all of a sudden you've got all these people with this degree, and they're living in their parents' basement, just trying to find jobs on, Fiverr or something, right? That value is just relative. And just like everything has to have cause and effect, right? Cause and effect, there's got to be something that isn't a cause, that doesn't have a cause, right? That just is inherent what it is. So what's the point? If you can see the utter meaninglessness, because it is, from that perspective, there isn't any meaning in it. The only thing we can find there is like, okay, I suppose it's actually, there's no concrete foundation for any morality. And so someone would say, I think it's probably better if we help each other and get along and not kill each other. Where did that come from? There's nothing in this that would give that. But yet, don't you have a sense that, yeah, that's right. It's not coming from anywhere. It's not a philosophy. It's not relative even. It isn't referencing something else. It's just, I don't know. It's true. It's self-referenced. You're looking for your meaning, which really means you're looking for you. You're looking for a you that is not just at the whims of this and that, but has an actual concrete reality to it. I am this, and that's why I feel this way. I am this, that's why I know I'm valuable. Because of what I am, not because of the skills I learned, that tomorrow you don't want them anymore, and so boom, I'm out on the street or something. Are you following this? You started with nothing. You started as nothing, end as nothing. You started as emptiness, right? Not as a form. Take form and you lose your form. Are you still there? That's the question to probe. What's here that isn't constantly changing, that isn't relative? That's what this search is for. The you that is not relative. It is not in reference to something else. It is concrete. Find that, you find your meaning. Because otherwise, even meaning is just, what does it mean to you? Well, right now it means that, because it's important, but then I don't want that anymore, and so it doesn't mean that anymore. You see, that's all relative too. We're looking for that which is. In other words, you. Christina said, nothingness is not as a concept of empty, zero, steros. Emptiness full of you and nothing but you. Not as body, not as a form, not as mind, but as being. You are. That is the point. You are the point. Well said. You are the meaning. We think there's an absolute meaning that comes out from outside of ourselves, but even as human beings, right? I give this meaning. I see other people doing videos and the like, and they're just kind of like sitting around, and I'm just like, no, I play with the lights and the sound and everything ridiculously. I don't need to, but that has meaning to me. I want to, so it's meaningful to me. Do I need anything more than that? And the meaning, of course, that is meaning being how important is it? It shifts with me. How I'm doing things, what I'm interested in that at that point. So meaning isn't a constant, but you are. Because no matter how you see yourself, what has meaning, what then doesn't have meaning, all these things that are changing, can you find in all of that which isn't changing? You are there, experiencing all the change. You are the changeless center, at the center of the universe. And the meaning, purpose. You don't have a purpose. Purpose is something that you serve. You simply are. There's no purpose to being, because I had no beginning. There was nothing there that said, I think this should happen, and then made it happen. There's nothing like that. You are what is. You don't need to exist for any reason. You exist. It's the ground of being. And it's you. And very useful. Yes, very helpful, thanks. No pictures before either. I think it's a huge job to release the blocks in my life. I lost my job and I felt so scared. Some story repeated itself. No, it's not. It seems that way because we don't understand the stuff underneath. It's not visible. That creates the blocks, sustains the blocks, and then gets frustrated because it can't remove the block. Of course, it can't remove the block. It doesn't know what the actual cause is. All I do all day, every day, is remove blocks for people because they don't really exist as a fact. They exist as a state. And every state is sustained only as long as you believe it. And the underlying belief is the sense of identity. Because the belief, not only is the belief just a belief, the believer is also just a belief. I'm able to do the releasing, but sometimes I lose hope. But then again, I get up, and somehow I manage to trust that it's my way out of these repetitive experiences. Yes, how do I trust life? Let me invite you to my classes. It's what I do. Not just through non-dual self-inquiry. It gets to there, but the kind of things you're experiencing require some emotional preparation, emotional healing, right, to get a handle on it, and you'll find it's actually not all that hard. It's different. It brings about some really some serious changes and transformations, but it isn't that hard. And there's several people here who can testify to that. Yeah. So use that same email address. Why don't you throw your email address in there again, Christina, to reach out, and we can talk about it, and I can show you what we can do. And I don't charge a lot. In fact, for a lot of folks who can't afford it, I charge even less. So far, the money's been adequate to keep me in my little room here, so I don't have to try to make any more than that. But yeah, we're here to heal. We're here to heal our wounds for the purpose of being able to genuinely, totally, and deeply do the self-inquiry without any overhead of it being like therapeutic and what I've got to get out of it and that sort of thing. You don't need to get anything out of it. We do have to get stuff. We do have to get some kind of emotional stability and freedom from the wounds and toxic stuff that we've all been through. Right? But we don't want that clouding up the inquiry, which is done to find out who you really are. So, even I can just see able to release. You've tried various kinds of things, so really reach out to Christina. That's all I can do is offer, right? Because these things require they require guidance, help, support, others, understanding, the deep cleaning, the deep healing is a transformation. It's not a therapeutic. It's not something you do. It's something fundamentally has to transform in us so that the influence of all the effects of the past are gone. The wounds have healed up. You're not broken. Nothing has to be fixed. But we have to come to see that. And that's where the freedom is. Okay. Nay. Yes, I am. Thank you. Much better. Jill, I've found the core of my separate self, that there's a hypercritical, fear-based character. I'm seeing it from a clear place now. But could you address the origins of that? Anne says, I think there's a reason I jumped into YouTube in this exact moment. Yeah, there was. You need to hear that you're not broken. That you already are the perfect, innocent, beautiful, immaculate one. But there's these beliefs that are there, which is what Jill actually just asked about. Where did this one come from? Right? Well, first, let me take a sip. Look at it. Ice lasted 2 hours. How about that? First off, in the meditation, as Ramana put it, he says, direct your meditation not on the seeing, right, which is obviously the witness, right? And not on what is seen, but unmovingly on that which sees. Okay. This is not the same answer I would give everybody, but for you, since I know you, and have for a while, let's say you're having a really bad dream, chased by monsters or something like that, right? And you start to wake up. Do you really give a shit where the monsters came from? Does it matter? Where do they come from? Nowhere. They arose. You were there before they arose. You watched them dance, and you're still here. Now, I know what you really want to know there, and I won't ignore that, but we'll take that up at one of the Sangha meetings. Yeah. Right now, just notice that I don't need to know the source of a dream, as if it had some specialness to it. What was the source? In the dream, me. It just arose out of me and fell back into me. Me being that which is completely unbounded, limitless, beyond all opposites. So it doesn't matter what arises. So I'm not going to explain it to you at this point in terms of emotional healing, but in terms of the inquiry. Whatever arises doesn't exist. Period. It's just a movement in consciousness that arose out of consciousness, disappears back into consciousness. Keep your attention on that which sees. Even the question of, what is that, this, where is it coming from, just arose. For some, I wouldn't say that because it might be, oh, it's just an illusion, make it go away. But you're not there anymore. You can now see that it is just an appearance, a movement in consciousness that has no reality. It has no origin. It didn't come from anywhere. It has no history, no cause. The actions that happen in a dream, we can imagine that some event took place in the dream because of something prior in that dream. But that's not why it happened. That's why dreams are so interesting, because the normal consistency, continuity of cause and effect is gone. All of a sudden, you can find yourself in a completely different world, like that. No connection, no reason, not caused, just boom, shift. That gives us an insight that while it does look in our waking state like there's this consistency moving along, right? There isn't. It's just, that's the illusion of time. Time is just an idea projected on a series of events. They have some continuity. It seems as if they're real. They're, causing this, caused that. No, it didn't. What caused it? It just arose in consciousness. Not a cause, not an intention, not an act of will. It just arose. Leave it at that. The deeper understanding of that comes by putting attention on that which sees, because that which sees is the answer and the source of all knowledge. and doesn't even have to find out anything. It just knows. Notice that there is a sense of a person there that is seeing. I have found at the core of my separate self, yes, my separate self. Who's the I and the my of the separate self? What sees the separate self as a separate self? Think that might be a bit more important than actually the separate self, or even the seeing of the separate self? That I. You may find that there's just this little bitty guy still kind of making a point for a separate self. The core of the separate self is nothing. It's empty. Just an appearance. Elaine and David, the realization is that the I cannot surrender because it never was. Even to describe its disappearance as the last remnants of ice melting in water is too much. Yeah, it is. There are no words, no fireworks, no great event. Yeah. The dissolution of a dream is, and the dreamer, the I that surrenders, will be witnessed. The I disappearing will be witnessed by the I, the real, the only I. Just silence. Yeah. Just silence. And love. Fatima, gee, I missed your satsangs. Great to see you again. And you, my dear. Nay, I find love. Me too. Gee, can't stay long. You have to catch replays. Thanks in advance. If there's no response, we'd love to hear your talk. Take on authority. Notice continuous patterns of consulting the mind. Yeah, everybody does it. Oh, is this true? It's just a matter of time before we begin to find that we are the reference point that says this is true. I did it. Okay. I'd have the insight, and then I'd be like, how do I? Yeah, I'd be trying to make sense out of it instead of just accept it. Don't give it to your mind. Just give it in your heart. Is it true? Our heart says yes. Therefore, it's true. The mind will always doubt. It's the home of doubt, because the mind cannot know the truth. It only has reference points. That's it. It can't know anything. They're just comparisons and relative, weights and values and things like that. It doesn't know. And so, the coming to see that I don't have to get my mind's confirmation. I don't even want it. My heart tells me. I know love is better than indifference, than coercion. How do I know? I just know. Can I prove it? No. I don't care about proving it. It's true. I can say, try it. See if it works. See if you can run a world on love. I'll bet you can. Not egoic, self-centered, narcissistic love, but a love that includes everyone. That'll work. Thank you, G, for all your answers. Great answers to my comments. You've always been my great master. Thank you. I hate being told what to do. Good. Yeah. That's why you've stayed with me as long as you have, because I don't tell anybody what to do. Rarely. Every now and then they'll say, you know what, stop. Stop beating your head in the wall, against the wall, because it feels good when you stop. I would desire not to be affected by what's said, no matter how positive or cruel. You can't become immune to the thoughts and actions and sayings of others as a person. The ego cannot ever be free of needing external confirmation. It can't. The only way to get there is to find you, because once you know you, as you are, no matter what, it's invulnerable, it's unmovable. It doesn't matter what anybody says. This is what I am. What you think I am is not me. Diaz, Beatrice, thank you so much. Unfortunately, everybody's got to go. Okay, me too, actually. I don't have to, but yeah, I think we've pretty much covered it up. Yes, it's love that heals. And I am that love. I see that now. Thank you so much. Very enlightening. Bell Arab Stories. Bellab Stories. It's Barb. I keep changing. My name, of course. Identity keeps changing, so you know, yeah. You can be whoever you want. You could just make it all up and just always be you. I actually want to ask something about the female archetype. So it might be along the theme of your workshop. Lots of female archetypes, yeah. Let's see. I want to ask something about the... Let's see. She continues. Basically, I feel so good when I see the female archetype in myself, like proud and worthy, and then I realize, wait, is this just another of what I am not? I'm reluctant to let it go. No. It is not what you are, but it is the attributes of you. Archetypes are representations of us. They are the qualities that are us projected outwards in an ideal form. But they arise here. Here, they're not really a form, right? You're not Athena, or right? But yet you are. Because they represent these essential qualities, right? And so, but the step beyond that is not that I'm not that. It is, that is an attribute of me. But that me is beyond all the attributes, right? My character is not myself. It is just the visible part of me. It is an attribute of me. That me can't be seen. And yet, we see all the attributes of it. So, you are that. That is, all of those describe you. Like the image in a mirror, right, is you. But it's not the original. You are where the archetype came from. You are what makes it have value and reality, not the other way around. And I just figured out that I can start trust life when I see I only need to trust in myself. The way is to find out that I am life itself. Yes, well, you already know that. Now, the sadhana, the practice, is letting that go from being an insight to being your lived reality. It could take time, a little patience, not a lot of time, but it's got to not just be I can, but I am, and that I am love, as you said before. I am life. Right? Notice there's some doubt, some resistance, which is fine. Right? That's where all of that resistance and stuff, we bring the light of our insight to that through love. And then it's more than an insight. It's my reality. It is me. But that announcement, it is me, is not coming from a sense of a person. It is reality announcing itself. So, share your referral link. What's that? Oh, look at that. Oh, no, it's not referring to me. It's still a thing down here on my screen. Share your referral. Me trying to get everybody to use this particular platform. So, on that note, once again, I will invite everybody to all of my classes, Emotional Healing, this Self-Inquiry Sangha, and next weekend, a class just for women. Which was, last time I did it, it went on for 5 hours. But was deeply meaningful to everyone who was there. It was sweet. And empowering, which is an important one. Yeah. So, anyway, Christine, if you're there, just put your email in there one more time. And if you're not there, well, it's enough. Anyway. I always just take a moment to see if there's anything else that wants to be said. I guess not. Thank you all. Thank you all, and I believe I will see you 2 weeks from today, and maybe some of you next weekend. Yeah. Until then, all my love.